Game week 35. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Last week I get 7 out of 7. A perfect score with two correct score. So this time around I'm able to give out game week 35. And if you're not yet locked in to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, share and comment. And also please remember to like. So my first game week prediction is gonna be Man City versus Wolves. Two of the most informed team in the English Premier League. Wolves is on a 7-game unbeaten run. And meanwhile, on the other hand, Man City is 8-game unbeaten in all competition. Man City dominate over the last 5-game head-to-head win. 4 out of 5. Meanwhile, the next game finished with a draw. So with Man City trying to cement their spot in the Champions League places for next season, I'm going to give Man City a 2-1 win over Wolves. My next game is going to be Everton versus Ipswich. Everton, without getting the result, I think they're not playing too bad over their last 5 games, even though they got a lot of draw with a 1 defeat here and there. Ipswich, meanwhile, on the other hand, is already relegated. So, and I personally think Everton have one of the meanest defense in the bottom half of the table. So I'm going to lean into Everton favor with a 2-0 win over Ipswich. So my next game is going to be Aston Villa versus Fulham. Aston Villa was embarrassed last week versus Crystal Palace, get knocked out of the FA Cup. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Fulham clinched a last-minute winner over Southampton last week to finish at their game 2-1. The last time Aston Villa lose any game at home was all the way back in October when they get knocked by Crystal Palace again. So with the home advantage and they're trying to cement their spot in Europe, I'm going to lean in favor of Aston Villa in this game with a 3-2 win over Fulham. So my next prediction is gonna be Leicester versus Southampton. I personally think Leicester is the best team that get relegated, if you ask me. And meanwhile, on the other hand, Southampton have the worst attack and the worst defense. Leicester dominated the head-to-head fixtures between both teams. So I personally think Leicester City is the favorite going head into this game. So I'm going to give Leicester City a 2-1 win over Southampton. So my next game is going to be Arsenal versus Bournemouth. This is a weird game to call. Arsenal is still in the semi-final in the Champions League. And there is just 7 points between second place and 6th place in the EPL at the moment. So I don't think Arsenal are going to take this game light, even though they want to try to rest a couple of players for the second leg versus PSG. But I think this game is going to be a lower scoring game. Bournemouth win the first leg 2-0 over Arsenal. So I think Arsenal are going to take this game serious just to try to cement their spot in the second place position. So I'm going to lean into Arsenal favor with a 1-0 win over Bournemouth. So my next game gonna be Brighton versus Newcastle. It's a weird game to call. Two tough team, two competitive team. Newcastle have the 3rd best attack in the EPL. Only Liverpool and Man City score more goals than them. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Brighton concede over 50 goals in the English Premier League. Concede the most in the top half of the English Premier League. So I think this game is gonna be an entertaining game, but this game is more serious for Newcastle, if you ask me, the better team in the season so far. So I'm going to edge this game in favor of Newcastle with a 3-1 win over Brighton. My next game is going to be Brentford versus Manchester United. A very tough game to call. Both teams really inconsistent so far in the latter part of the season. Manchester United still in Europe. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Brentford have a midweek fixtures. But for this prediction, I'm going to sit on the fence with this. I'm going to have this game to draw 2-2. So the next game going to be West Ham versus Tottenham. Both teams have a poor season based on their squad and based on their performance as well. Tottenham is still in Europe, but both teams sit 16 and 17 just above the relegation zone. I think based on their squad, both teams should be able to do better in the English Premier League, but I'm also going to sit on the fence with this game with a 2-2 draw. So the final game on Sunday is going to be Chelsea versus Liverpool. I see a lot of goal in this game. Salah trying to get 30 goals and 20 assists for the season. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Chelsea is trying to make it in Europe. Liverpool already win the English Premier League, so I think they're just gonna play free-flowing football, try to give Salah that 30 goals and that 20 assists. So I'm still gonna hedge in favor of Liverpool, even though they already win the English Premier League. I'm gonna give Liverpool a 3-2 win over Chelsea. So the final game is gonna be Crystal Palace versus Nottingham Forest. A tough game to call. Crystal Palace is one of those teams. This week they can show up, next week they don't show up. They just embarrass Aston Villa in the FA Cup. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Nottingham Forest over their last 3 to 4 games is not playing or they start the season. So I think the game is gonna be a low scoring game. So I have this game a 1-1 draw. So if you make it this far in the video, please I'm asking you to like, subscribe, share, and also leave a comment on your English Premier prediction for game week 30. Thank you. I'm out.